Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today, we are talking all about virtual assistants. And the reason I'm here with my amazing virtual assistant, Anna, is because the other day I posted on social media, hey, I just hired a virtual assistant for 20 hours a week. She's my executive assistant. She's handling bookings. Do you want to know how I set this up, how I got her, and what she actually does for me and what that setup process looks like? And everyone on social media said yes. So here we are today. We're going to go through it step by step. Anna, how are you doing today?
Hi, Nathan. I'm doing good. You?
Doing great. And I'm excited to go through this with you. Before we kind of dive into that, why don't you give people a quick background of your experience as a virtual assistant?
Sure. So I have about 8 years of experience as a virtual assistant, and it started while I was working for a web development company when I was in college. All the big bosses were doing their thing, web development and designing, and they were too busy. So I just did some content, writing content for their website. And when our US client saw how fast I could pick up different skills from each department, he then contacted me and he said, here, organize my work files and look at the websites and help look for areas that need improvement. And so as I did that, I picked up a bit of everything to add to my skill set. And then I worked for eBay, listing items, product research, inventory, all of that. And then it expanded to Amazon. And I worked for another client starting as a virtual assistant, booking hotels, organizing events, until she had me do her personal emails and her social media engagement and social media posts. And I learned a lot of stuff along the way. So now here I am working for you.
And you left out that you were also a professional singer, right?
Oh yeah. You want me to get into that? Yeah.
Maybe,
Yes, I
maybe
do.
at the end if we have time. And you're located in the Philippines, right?
Yes.
What part of the Philippines do you live in?
Close to Manila, about an hour an hour north of Manila.
Very cool. So let's kind of jump into why I needed a virtual assistant. So I had a team of VAs with FreeUp. FreeUp was acquired, and I'm working on a new venture right now, Outsource School, which is an education platform for people to learn how to use virtual assistants, how to work with virtual assistants, and how to hire them for specific processes like getting on podcasts, lead generation, bookkeeping. And we're building some VA software as well, some SOP builders. So with the new business, I really had to build a team from scratch. And we were debating, Connor, my business partner, and I, when is the right time for us to hire a virtual assistant. Those are conversations we always have, whether we need to hire more people or not. And it got to the point where I was getting on lots of podcasts. I was scheduling networking calls like I always do, partnership calls, people that wanted to be affiliates, people who had questions about the course, and just other meetings that you have as an entrepreneur. And I was spending the first hour or two every single day, not only just booking podcasts and using scheduling apps, but booking other people's calls, going back and forth with people on times. And then other tasks that just come up in the day-to-day operation of the business, whether it's organizing lists of buyers, whatever it is. And I thought, okay, now is time to get a virtual assistant part-time, 2 hours every single morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. to really help me get a head start to my day and get 2 hours of my day back so that I can focus on building courses, building products, building the actual business rather than just those day-to-day operations and that stuff that you have to do to get out of your inbox. So I went to FreeUp, the old platform that I built back in the day with Connor, to get Anna. And Anna, why don't you give a quick background of FreeUp and what it's like being a VA on FreeUp?
Sure. Well, first, I love FreeUp. It's the best freelancing platform that I've encountered in the past 8 years of me working. And what I noticed was they really do take care of their people. They make sure that they check in with you and that you have clients that you like. So it's not just about the work, but what you're good at and what you love doing. And they make sure that you get the rate you want. They don't push you to take anything that's below what you're asking for, just to make sure that you're happy. And they make sure that you are a top freelancer for the job. Basically, they check up on you from time to time to see how you're doing. And I saw that this is what it's like working for Nathan and Connor. They contacted me when they were starting up Outsource School, and they said that they noticed how well I was doing in Free Up and asked if I wanted to join their team. And I jumped at this opportunity. And I've in any other platform for freelancing, I've never experienced this in my life where they actually reach out to you and say, hey, we noticed you're doing a good job. And they definitely test you and push you to your potential. But I love it because it's such a warm environment, and they definitely notice the good things that you do.
Awesome. So yeah, Connor and I are now clients of Free Up, which is a little bit weird. And we contacted our old VAs at Free Up who are in charge of matching up the VAs with clients. And we said, hey, we're looking for an executive assistant, 20 hours a week. And they matched us up with Anna. And so we went through with Anna the exact same process that we teach in our Cracking the VA Code course of Outsource School. We started off with an interview, what we call our CARE interview process. And Connor actually handles the interview process. And CARE stands for communication, attitude, red flags, and experience. And he spent a good 20 to 30 minutes going through with Anna, talking to her about her communication skills, figuring out what her attitude was like, what she actually cared about, going through her past experience, and looking for any red flags that would show that she's not a good fit for the role. And Anna, maybe real quick, you can talk about what that experience was like with Connor.
Oh, it was awesome. It was very professional, but there was a twist to it. He showed how much he cared about what I was telling him. Because usually when you go through an interview, they just ask you basic questions. Yeah, tell me about your work experience. What can you offer us? And, so on and so forth. But with him, he showed that he really had a genuine care and that he was interested in my answers, making sure that we both have the same desires for the work. And yes, it was awesome.
Cool. So Connor did the interview. Connor was very impressed with your skills, with your attitude, with your communication. And the next step is onboarding. Just like we teach it in Cracking the VA Code, we want to get on the same page with expectations and make sure that you know what's expected of you when you start. And the onboarding is what we call our SICK method. So that's schedule, issues, communication, and culture. So I went through with you what your schedule is, what other clients you have, made sure there was no overlap and you can handle the hours. We talked about different issues like communication, weather, personal issues, internet, power, to make sure we're on the same page there on what's to be expected and how often you have those issues. We talked about communication because I'm not the easiest client to work with and I have high expectations there. And then we went over culture because culture is something we care a lot about. We want people who are positive, who brings ideas and feedback to the table. And we really only wanted you to accept the job if it was going to be a good fit for you and if it was for what you were looking for. So can you talk real quick about that onboarding process?
So basically, Nathan made sure that I was bringing my A game to the table, that I was up for the challenge. So he scared me a little bit at first, with all these tasks. But once we went through it one by one and made sure that we were on the same page, it was really easy. The process made it very simple to see if we were a good fit or if I was a good fit for them.
Awesome. So next, once the onboarding went great, we were on the same page. We offered you the job. We were fortunate enough that you accepted it. And then we scheduled our first training. But what we did first is we had SOPs, standard operating procedures that I created on how to book stuff for me, how to be my assistant, what you're going to do during those 2 hours every single morning. Again, you're working 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for me. I usually get up around 6:45. So we're on at the same time in the morning to make sure we're on the same page and handle any tasks that need to happen. But I created an SOP on, hey, when I send you a podcast booking link, this is what you do. If I'm double booked, this is how you handle it. If I schedule a networking call, this is how. And we really broke down the SOP into 3 parts. So I started off with the why. I gave you a background of me and Connor, which I think you already knew a little bit, but you probably learned a little bit more. We talked about the importance of your role, how it's going to make my life easier, what the goal was to make sure that I'm getting on podcasts, but I'm not double booked or I'm not doing 5 podcasts a day. Then we jumped into the actual steps. So, hey, this is what you do when I send you an email. This is how you handle XYZ, step 1, 2, 3. And then I gave you all these canned response, all my bio, the links to social media, stuff that you're going to need to actually do the task so that you can save it and you can bookmark it. And then I gave you the important reminders. For example, I don't want to be on more than one podcast a day. So if you see I have 2 a day, you've got to reschedule that other one. Or if someone is booked out too far, you got to let them know and we got to make some adjustments. So those important reminders there. And here's the important thing is I didn't just jump into one-on-one training because I wanted to give you a chance to actually review the SOP for a few days and actually ask questions and make sure that before we even start the one-on-one training, you have a good background of it. You know that you can handle it, and I don't waste my time training you and then realizing you're not a good fit. Can you talk about what that was like to review the SOPs before we actually started the training?
It was actually good. This process helped me, with my own time at my own pace, read through the SOPs, and as I go through it, list down all my questions, what was clear, what wasn't as clear, and break it down into what's more important, what's not as important, make sure that I got to absorb the rules, the important reminders, make notes for myself. That was it. Through the SOPs that you gave, I was able to create my own template for notes, make sure that it's organized the way I wanted it so that when you ask me for something, I know exactly where it is. So it gave me a moment to get myself organized before we started.
Cool. So then I think we hired you on a Thursday or Friday. We gave you that day plus the weekend to go over the SOPs. Then on Monday or Tuesday, we started and we did one-on-one training really for a day or two before you picked it up. You had already read the SOPs. You had a background. We kind of just went through it top to bottom. I answered your questions. I showed you some stuff that maybe I didn't make as clear as I could have in the SOP. And you really picked it up from there. And then we kind of hit the ground running once those trainings were over in that following day or two, having you actually do the tasks and me double checking it. Of course, there's going to be weird situations that come up that I couldn't have remembered to put in the SOP. So instead of just guessing or doing them, you brought them to my attention and I gave them to you. And then the cool thing about it, and this is a little bit more advanced, is you took ownership of the SOP. So as I was teaching you new stuff, you updated the SOP to make it better and better with the idea that, hey, you're not going to monitor my inbox forever. Hopefully you take on harder and harder tasks and we eventually hire someone else to do it. And you're going to have an even better SOP ready for that person to review. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah. So basically I'm trying to put the next VAs after me in my shoes and say, hey, what could have worked better for me that wasn't in the SOP? So I started creating short videos for certain parts of the SOP, like here, this is what you do. These are the screens that you have to have open. This is what this looks like. So just to give them a visual, because if they read something, sometimes people don't really understand it until they see it, like me, until they do it hands-on. So with those video links that I added into the SOP, they can watch it and do it at the same time so that it saves you time or it saves me time from teaching them how to do it. And then if they still have questions after the video, of course they can still ask. And the other parts of the SOPs was adding more links or references to what it looks like, more images. So this is what the template is, or this is what the tracker looks like, stuff like that. So images, videos, organizing it a little bit more, making sure that the more important reminders are at the top before they start, and the steps in between.
Awesome. So quick review. We decided we needed a VA. We decided how many hours and what the task would be. We went to FreeUp. We put in a request. We got Anna. Connor interviewed Anna, was impressed with the interview. I onboarded her, got on the same page with expectations. I wrote an SOP. I gave her the SOP. I had her study the SOP and ask questions. Then only once she really understood the SOP, we jumped into one-on-one training. And then she took ownership of the SOP from our training to make it even better after that. And I want to kind of dive into now what tasks you're doing, because I know we started off with just, hey, book me on podcasts, schedule my networking and partnership calls. And once at first that took you the full 2 hours, but once you got it down, even though I'm sending you a lot of emails every day, you're getting that done in that first 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So we started to add additional tasks to your plate, either tasks from Connor, tasks from Nate McAllister, who runs our affiliate program. What other tasks are you doing? And you can even include the tasks that you're doing for me.
So when I first started, everything was a complete mess. It took me about a week to get Nathan back up to speed. I was working with his calendar, organizing his email, making sure that nothing was missed while he didn't have an assistant. So for the first week, I fixed up his calendar. I went through 100 emails, made sure that I scheduled team meetings for me to get together with the team, get to know everyone on the team. And now that I'm basically caught up a week and a half later, actually it's been 2 weeks. So yeah, 2 weeks later, I've been talking more with Connor and with Nate McAllister and asking them how else I could help with their tasks. So now I'm doing some promotional stuff with Nate, creating coupons for certain promotions, approving new leads, and scheduling more meetings with Connor as well, and not just Nathan. And so hopefully within next week, we get together and we talk more about how else I could help them in their business.
Cool. So yeah, Anna came in, she reorganized everything. She helped me catch up on emails, and then we gave her some additional affiliate promotional stuff to help get caught up on and really take that off Nate's plate so that he doesn't have to be creating every single coupon. And then she got into helping Connor get scheduled, get organized. And now she's at the point where we're going to be adding even more additional tasks. We have a partnership program that we need to get organized. We have social media that she's going to be helping with. We just hired a social media VA, so she'll be working with that VA. There's a lot more affiliate stuff we want to do. We have over 200 affiliates signed up for Outsource School, so Nate's going to need help organizing them. Nate McAllister, not me. So lots of stuff she's going to be doing, but we started off just getting her organized, getting her in the groove of doing the tasks, and then adding additional tasks to her plate. So it's been really cool. I mean, my days have changed a lot. I try to get my most important thing done before 11 a.m. every morning. And I also try to work out for an hour. So from 7 to 11, I now have extra hours to work on courses, work on projects. So that's been awesome. Anna's been a great asset there. Anna, why don't you talk about kind of the fun side of behind the scenes of working with us? I know you've met some other people that are on our team. You've met Andrew, you've met Nico, you've met Char. What's it been like working with the team? What have we been doing behind the scenes?
Oh, it's been fun. What caught my attention that's different from any other client I've worked for is you guys do a lot of engaging with us. You make sure that we're okay. You look for fun ways to keep us engaged. You ask us how our weekend went, what fun activities we're into, making sure that we're more than just your VAs. We eventually become your friends, connected with each other.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I mean, we just started up Monday morning meetings just like we had at Free Up. So now every Monday at 10 a.m., we do a quick run through of how everyone's doing, what everyone did that weekend. People share pictures of their weekend, and then we give company updates and we talk about goals and what we want to accomplish. And then we all divide and conquer and work on our own thing and stay and communicate throughout the week. So that's kind of how we organize it and how we get it set up. And again, it's just part-time. I mean, 20 hours a week, 2 hours a day. It's really helping me just get organized and get 2 extra hours back every single day. Anything else that I missed? Anything else that you think would add value to the audience?
I think we've pretty much covered everything. But before we end, I know it's your birthday next week, so I did prepare a song for you if you want me to sing in front of everyone.
Let's do it.
Okay. The Beatles, one of the best bands ever. I have a song from them. Here we go. Who knows how long I've loved you? You know I'll love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. For if I ever saw you, I didn't catch your name, but it never really mattered. I will always feel the same. I love you forever and together. Love you with all my heart. Love you whenever we're together. Love you when we're apart. And when at last I find you, your song will fill the air. Sing it loud so I can hear you. Make it easy to be near you. For the things you do and do you to me, for you know I will. Happy birthday, Nathan.
Thanks, Anna. That was amazing. And if anyone's
Thank you.
looking to hire a professional singer, obviously I recommend Anna. You have a great voice. I wish I could sing like that.
Thank you.
Awesome. So if anyone has any questions on how we set this up, what Anna's going to be doing with me going forward, definitely reach out to us, leave a comment, send us a question, support@outsourceschool.com. You can get our exact process for interviewing, onboarding, training, and managing virtual assistants in our course, Cracking the VA Code, now available on Outsource School. And I'm looking forward to coming out with a lot of new content, a lot of new courses, new software. Anna's going to be a big part of this going forward. And yeah, thanks for your time, Anna. I know this originally was not in the job description.
Oh, I like it. I love doing different kinds of things, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity to grow with you guys, and I'm really pumped and excited to go forward.
Awesome. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.